Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. And I just wanted to do a quick video because I've had a lot of comments on Facebook from people from one of the last experiments I did, the bubbles in epoxy resin, saying that I should do it in UV resin. So just to show people how simple that technique is and to prove I'm not a little bit crazy, well maybe just a little bit, I thought I would do a quick tutorial on how to actually do the bubble technique. But that last one was an experiment. I wasn't expecting the bubbles to work out. It was just to see if it made a different impact on the Petri effect underneath. So if you want to learn the bubble technique, it's one of the simplest techniques out there with UV resin, and it is gorgeous. So make sure you stay tuned till the end as well for a top tip, and let's go straight to it. So here we are back in the workshop. You're going to need a few things for this. So some mica powder, a mold, whatever you want to do, some washing up liquid in a cup so you can mix up some bubbles, and whatever mica powders, chameleon powders, or anything else that you want to put in. But we're going to be using UV resin this time, which is the proper way. And as I said in the last experiment, that was an experiment. I wasn't trying to get the bubble effect in epoxy resin. So I just thought I'd do a quick tutorial to show you guys how to do it. If it's your first time to the channel, firstly, welcome. Secondly, make sure you like and subscribe. We're about everything epoxy, resin, and wood carving related. So if that's what you're into, you're in the right place. I'm just working on another project at the moment, which should go live in the next couple of days, which is a pregnant resin frog. So think what you can with that one. But all I'm doing here, it's washing up liquid, and I'm just mixing it up to get some bubbles. You can blow bubbles with a straw if you want, but it's a bit difficult with a respirator on. And for this project, I decided I was going to use chameleon powders because I think they look great, and this hard UV resin. You're also going to need some black mica powder just to back it with if you're using chameleon powders, because that's what really makes them pop. So all I'm doing is fill in the mold here. I've chosen these two circular ones just because I've got a few backs through today, and I think they'll make some great pendants. Filling them about 3/4 of the way full. And if you hear snoring in the background whilst I'm doing the voiceover, it is my dog Reggie, so apologies for that. But now what you're going to want to do is just look into the resin and tease any of the bubbles that are stuck to your silicone mold out. I use the end of a paintbrush for this, but you can use whatever you want just to try and tease them out. Surprisingly, even though it is the bubble effect we're creating, we don't want unintentional bubbles. And there was just one or two more there that I wanted to get before we carry on. But this is such a simple process, guys. You're not going to believe how simple it is. Just going to torch the top now with the long nose lighter to get rid of any of those surface bubbles. Again, don't use a torch with silicone molds. You'll probably find that you'll bond your epoxy to it and ruin your mold. Just making sure my lamp's ready as well to go. And mixing up a few bubbles to put on top. And it's literally that straightforward to a certain extent. So mixing up bubbles, it's good to get a good difference of size. I wanted them quite small, so not too big for this, because obviously the pendant isn't huge, and I wanted them reasonably small, so that, but I still wanted a few different sizes in there. So that's mixed up enough. And now just scooping some off. You don't want to be scooping the water on. You just want to get the bubbles, and I put this pretty much across most of the back of these particular shapes, and you want plenty on there, so don't scrimp. If you need more, just whip up some more in the cup. And again, just be careful not to get the water. You only want the bubbles on there because water and resin does not go very well together. Now we're just going to cure it for around about 2 minutes. When that's done, you're just going to want to flip it over and do the underside as well. With resin, you always want to do both sides unless you've got a really powerful lamp with a mirror, but you can already see that effect there. It's amazing. And all you've done is put some washing up liquid bubbles on top of it when you've cured it. And if it's your first time to the channel, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've just launched an Etsy shop as well, so I'll put the link here. And it's great that we're growing. We're gone over 6,400 subscribers now, so let's keep this channel growing. Make sure you share it. Make sure you put a comment in comments. Like it. Don't like it. Do whatever you want to do, but it all helps the algorithm and it helps the channel grow so much. There you go. It's as simple as that. And this is the bubble effect, essentially in the resin. You can do this in all sorts of things, coasters, whatever you want, as long as you do it with UV resin to get that technique right. So now what I'm going to do is just pick the chameleon powders that I want to brush onto the back. These are a pack that I've got from Let's Resin. And I always try and go with sort of 2 different shades, to be honest with you. So I went with this champagne colour. And then I decided on sort of a blue color as well, just to give it, again, a slightly different contrast. I always think it's good when you've got 2 completely different ones. And as you can see, I'm just using a brush and putting the lighter one sort of across the middle. Now, whenever you use mica powders or anything like that with resin or chameleon powders, it's usually the first one that you touch the resin with that sort of takes over and has the strongest impact. So just bear that in mind when you're deciding what colours to go with. And again, going for a very similar design on this one on the left. Now just going to brush anywhere where there's negative space with the bluish one. Pretty straightforward, and it doesn't really show that much at this point, and I think it's because I use chameleon powders. I think you need black backing with chameleon powders to really make those colours pop. And there we go, that's pretty much those done. And now what we're going to do is just mix up some black mica powder with some UV resin to back them with. Now when you do this, you don't want too much mica powder because if you overpower it, the resin won't cure. So as you'll see here, I end up doing it in 2 very thin layers rather than 1 big thick one. And you just get, I suppose you get used to the amount that you can get away with, but literally in this amount of UV resin, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this black mica powder and mix it all up. Because the last thing you want is this not curing on the back and leaking UV resin everywhere. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it, I've made that mistake. So you're better off doing it in a couple of thin layers to get that completely black effect. So just mixing this up. There we go. And then going to spread it on in a thin layer. Now you'll find this first one, because of the texture of the bubbles, is probably a bit harder than the second layer to spread. So all I'm doing here is putting it on and spreading it around with this, I ice lolly stick, or popsicle stick as I think you call it in the States, and making sure that I cover the whole of the piece. Being careful not to scratch it, because if you do scratch it, you will disturb the powders that you've just put down underneath. Again, you probably could pour this, but when you're using such tiny amounts of resin, I think you'd probably have to mix more to get it to pour anyway, so you're probably better off just taking your time and doing it like this. And now that's done, just going to cure it for another 2 minutes. Also, whilst you're here as well, let me know in comments whether you like having music in the background or whether you would rather not have music, because I've got very mixed views from the community at the minute. And if you want the music, brilliant, I don't mind adding it in. If you don't want it, I don't mind taking it out. So let me know in comments what you think. And now that's cured, I'm just going to go in with a second top coat, a second thin layer, to make sure that everything is covered in that black. And you'll find that this layer actually goes on a lot easier because you've already smoothed everything out with the first layer of UV resin that you've put on. And I'm just trying to go around all the edges, make sure that everything's nice and smooth, and giving it a few seconds to self-level out before I cure it again. Now that's done, just going to flip it over and cure the other side. You always want to do this when you're working with UV resin, just to make sure that everything's cured. Now that's done, time for your top tip. A lot of people have been complaining that they get sticky UV resin. And one thing you might want to try doing, this is just water in a cup, is curing it for another minute once everything's done in water. So here you can see just popping them both in there in water, and I'm just going to cure this for about a minute. And what I end up doing is just moving them around with that paintbrush. And it's something to do with the reaction as the resin cures, and by doing it with water as well, it makes sure that everything is cured solid and you don't get that sticky effect. So for the sake of an extra minute at the end of your project, it's much easier to do this and not have sticky pieces than to have sticky pieces and have to deal with it, top coat them, or do whatever. So I always try and do this even with my larger pieces. So if you saw the last big UV project I did with the giant butterfly, I still water cured it at the end to make sure it wasn't sticky, because there's nothing worse than sticky UV resin. And these were already, I saw through the water there, are looking great. And what you're going to want to have is a microfiber cloth to dry them with as well. Don't use kitchen roll because it can scratch the resin. And the last thing you want to do when you've spent time creating a piece is to scratch your resin. So just going to fish these out now and dry them, and we'll see what results we got. But it really is that straightforward, that simple to do the bubble effect in resin. And if you've liked that, we've got lots more experiments coming up and different techniques coming up. If you missed the last video, that was the 3D blooms, which we managed to get on the first attempt and got some really cool results with that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and look at the last video. But look at this effect that we've got just from something as simple as washing up liquid and a couple of brushings of chameleon powder. Absolutely stunning. But no, let me know what you think in comments, guys. Do you like it? I don't think you can get a more simple process that has such a great effect. And it's ironic, really, because most of us resiners want to get the bubbles out of the resin rather than put them in, but it makes a really, really good effect. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.